This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
Everyone was frankly caught off guard by not only the nature of the executive order by Donald Trump, but also the timing.
Confusion ensued at airports across the country this weekend following an executive order that banned travel from several different countries. How this executive order compares to those of past presidents tops Channel 2 News at 5:30. So today, Washington State Attorney General announced that he is suing the federal government, claiming that the travel ban violates the Constitution, 14 other states, and the District of Columbia will do the same thing. Good evening, I'm Landon Miller.
I'm Kristen Remington. Thank you for keeping it here with us tonight. President Trump's executive order banning travel from 7 Middle Eastern and African countries continues to spark protests all across the country, as we've seen. In fact, this morning, though, the president ignored questions about the demonstrations, but defended his actions on Twitter, saying, quote, only 109 people out of 325,000 were detained and held for questioning. The White House says it's working on a 90-day review of the vetting process for immigrants, but needed to do something now before the review is complete. Today, Acting Attorney General Sally Yates, who was appointed by President Obama, said she would not defend the ban in court. Now, the legal challenges mean the constitutionality of the president's executive order will be challenged.
And I was going to say, for more on this, we're going to turn things over to Ryan Canada. He joins us live in the newsroom with more. Ryan?
Yeah, Landon, the constitutional issue is raised because of the nature and details of President Trump's order. And we spoke to a political expert here in Reno who not only breaks down the details of this weekend's ban, but also compares the executive order to those of past presidents.
According to political scientist Fred Locken, the 7 countries affected under President Trump's executive order were originally identified under the Obama administration as possible areas where terrorist recruits go for training, but no travel ban was issued by the former president.
It was merely as a report called for no action.
Barack Obama instead signed a different executive order during his term. For a short period of time, he put restrictions on Iraqi immigration in response to a national security threat.
It was to a specific event involving IEDs. It was to a specific sense that it might offer a threat of that being exported to the United States.
Locken says because of the specificity of Obama's order that it differs from President Trump's latest actions, saying, in fact, that the U.S. hasn't seen a ban this similar to Trump's since laws were passed during World War II.
It singled out Japanese and established the Japanese internment camps, again under a philosophy of national security where there had been a direct attack on Pearl Harbor.
Locken says those policies were passed by the Congress of the time and signed by President FDR, a very different process from signing an executive order. Locken says executive orders were originally intended to be used because Congress would be out of session for long periods of time. He says now they're often used by presidents when they don't get their way, making President Trump's latest signing seem a bit unorthodox.
But for Donald Trump, he has Republican control of the House and Senate. So many would wonder where the urgency is and why he would not use the traditional policy process of the House and Senate debating, deliberating, and producing a joint bill that would be signed by the president.
Since being in office, President Trump has already signed several executive orders. Today, he signed yet another, mandating that for any new regulation on business, 2 previous regulations need to be removed. Covering the story live in the newsroom, Ryan Canada, Channel 2 News.
All right, Ryan, thank you.